What up, y'all? Happy Friday. Welcome to WWT Live. My name is TK Trinidad. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk. We're going to be talking about Ronda, Shayna. We're going to be talking about all things and a brand new list, exclusive partnership between BWA and Women's Wrestling Talk. All that coming up next.
Howdy, folks. This is Willow Nightingale, and you are watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
What it do? Sorry for the tardiness. We acting extra fill in the blank today, but we are here. I am not alone.
Yeah. Times in a row. Watch this. Listen, sorry for the delayed party people having a little happy hour. We're very excited because I thought today that WWT was going to lay me off. I was waiting for TK's call. She called me and I was like, it was fun while she was like, oh no, am I doing the show today? Oh, okay. Well then, yes, I shall do that. So I'm happy to be here. Happy Friday, everybody. I mean, the benefits and compensation package from WWT is really good. So I was not going to be too mad if I had to go. So, you know.
Insert silent joke. And next.
It's amazing.
How's it going? I'm good. Been busy, very busy, but you know, everything just taking one day at a time. Excited for my Nuggets playing tonight. The usual.
There it is. And he is coming back from the streets just to hang with us. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
Unicorn
get weird. We're going to do the whole show like this.
Yes.
I mean, as the mayor of Vice City and the jury of Lola Vice, I expect for Sid to be very horny anyway, so it makes sense. Yes.
Hey, this got double purpose too. You know,
double purpose and double-sided.
Right. So dealer's choice, and we have the unofficial official producer in too, so you can help us make this decision. Do you want to go with our new monthly exclusive partnership list with BWA, or do you want to start with the news?
Real quick news. I said we do a flyby. That's an industry term, folks. Flyby with the news, with maybe some releases from WWE, TK.
Okay, we could do that. What you got up first? Since you started it, Kane, what you want to talk about first?
Well, it was a effed up Friday for our girl McKenzie Mitchell. She tweeted that she was released by WWE today, which kind of is a move coming out of nowhere. We heard that the releases would be more on the corporate side, but she's the only talent thus far, as of this recording, has been listed as released. She tweeted it out, said that she wants to thank WWE. She traveled from Connecticut to Florida. Obviously, she's down there in Central Florida, Orlando for NXT. Great backstage interview. I thought she added a lot to the product. She is married to Vic Joseph, commentator of WWE NXT. So it'll be interesting what happens with Vic Joseph. Will he pull like a Jerry Lawler, Stacey Carter, Cat situation in the part? I don't think so. But it's just really random to see McKenzie Mitchell, for all people, for all talents, is the only one thus far released.
Well, I mean, WWE doesn't necessarily subscribe to the entertainment way of things because we see them doing releases all the time. However, a lot of my entertainment folks, what happens is you do the budgets for 2024, and then you make a decision who you want to pay what to. or if you're in the red, or all this other stuff. So I definitely don't think this has anything to do with her talent. It's probably more financial. And we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And or they might try to be making more space to bring on somebody else who might be a little bit more expensive. So there's a lot of different things that are happening. But I mean,
who, like what, like CM Punk ice cream bars or something? CM Punk comes back and you need a budget to pay for his ice cream bars, so McKenzie Mitchell has to exit. Who is going to interview the NXT wrestlers?
You might know somebody.
I know somebody.
I know somebody,
but we're not going to get into that. But I thought this was surprising. I actually really enjoyed her interviews with NXT talent, especially her chemistry on screen with people like Wesley. I think she was just starting to hit her stride as a backstage announcer. I think she already posted some information about what's next for her. I think she has a family business that she's really pushing for right now that was founded by her grandparents. So I think sky's the limit for her. And, you know, people do tend to come back around. We've seen these cuts happen, and we've seen Triple H kind of collect infinity stones the past year with bringing people back. So I don't think that she'll be gone forever per se, because I think she does have a strong talent as interviewer, and it was like we were just starting to see her hit her stride.
Right. Definitely agree. But, you know, we'll see what happens. And I've always said it, multiple streams of income, because this entertainment thing is not stable. It's not stable. It's not for the faint of heart. But it always is. And it's not this probably be a better reference coming from you, Seti said, but it's not it's like your side chick. If you treat the entertainment industry like your side chick and have the main chick be, you know, the stable business, when the side chick leaves, you still Gucci. Like, I still got this business. So that's
I don't know how that applies to me, but you know, like if I want to if I want to mirror what's going on with these releases, when I get released from WWT, the OnlyFans probably going to drop like the next day. So you always got to have a backup plan, you know. Just got to
like cake over here.
Got to pivot right away.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll leave that one alone. But yeah, let's before because Booney can't stay until the end of this. So let's get this list.
I had a question. I did have a question. Do you think this means any other surprises could be coming? You know, from with
the crazy thing is the surprises I see are some people coming back. I think it was Lindsay Dorado posted a picture of himself as a trainer at the PC earlier this week. So it's like people are like starting to slide back into WWE. I don't know if it means that. And then I also read that they're actually starting to renew certain contracts long term because of the money that's in TKO right now. So they're taking certain people and saying like, "Hey, let's re-up you now because we can pay you more." So maybe it is a situation like what Kane was saying. It's like they're doing more things to align in this orbit of CM Punk and a big push for WrestleMania season, and they bring people back on down the road.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just curious.
And then Tornado T5, same WWE with same releases right in time for the holidays. It's not just WWE. Like I said, there are a lot of people that I know who've been let go from big companies and entertainment companies around this time of year. And it sucks, but at the end of the day, there's really no time to get let go. That's one thing. But it really is. I was talking to a friend of mine who is in one of those positions where they fire people. And when you talk to those financial entities, like I said in the beginning, it typically has to do with whenever they're done budgeting for 2024. So it's kind of one of those things like, yeah, it sucks, but you know,
which is weird because
which would you rather? Would you rather get let go so you can find another job, or would you rather still work for them but not get paid? Because that's what's going to happen if they can't budget your check-in.
All right.
Yeah, well, for a lot of businesses, you know, October 1st is when 2024 started. So it's kind of weird that here we are on December 1st. And that's when, you know, because the fiscal year runs October to October. Not that I've any experience about this being laid off on September 30th. Not at all. But October 1st to October 1st is the 2020 is the next year, fiscal year calendar. So it's just kind of weird to see it happen. But I think McKenzie's going to be all right.
Oh no, she's a hustler, and you are right, Bobby.
Yeah.
She was a backstage interview for Impact. That's where she came from. So
Correct.
Yeah,
we were talking about this before the show. Maybe her and Gia Miller can have a announcer throwdown or something. Her and Gia Miller.
Well, Gia can fight
because
Gia can fight, so
she was wrestling last night. Well, it wasn't
Yep.
Gia. It was Rip Razor or whoever she was with Ace Austin for the throwback throwdown. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Rusty Iron. Sorry, Gia Miller, aka Rusty Iron in the IPWF. That's right.
Dylan saying I'm like 14 hours away from December 3rd. Yeah, I better catch up. I could see her and Gia sharing.
Cheers, mate.
A lot. I mean, that's possible. I mean, you'll never know. You never know. We'll see what happens. But this brings us to our official new inaugural list. This is going to be happening monthly. We did it in partnership with Black Wrestling Alliance. Just in case you don't know who they are, definitely check them out on IG and Twitter. Really, really great content. We have been, network friends for quite some time over the pond. He is also one of the hosts for WWT. So definitely that. Let me put some music on here. Let me get some music. So here's the list. So it's our debut list, and it's going to be dropping on social media. I like to turn it because it's a little bit too high. So it's the Reina list. So if you don't know what Reina is, I don't know what to tell you. So it's let me kind of go to our criteria. I don't know, Sed, you want to do the criteria for us since you might have had some problems.
I don't have it in front of me on my computer, so I can't read that from the screen I'm looking at.
Sed, it's on your WhatsApp.
It's on my phone too. That's not on my computer.
Oh,
so I don't have it in front of me.
Okay. So the criteria is championship opportunity, win, loss, record, success against. You can't read that on the screen. Success against grade of competition, match quality, community. Where are you going and coming from, Kane? Match quality, community reaction, and active push.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to our number 10 spot. So number 10, can you read that? Booney, Kane, or Sed?
So I'll just run through the 10 through 6 because we're gonna have a discussion about this once we're done talking about the numbers. Number 10, we have Lyra Valkyria. Number 9, we have Julia Hart. Number 8, we have Janai Kai. 7, Kinsey Page. 6, Trinity. Did we turn the music off? Can you guys hear me? Oh.
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
Number 5, we have Io Sky. Number 4, Becky Lynch. Number 3, Timeless Toni Storm. Number 2, Rhea Ripley. And number 1 is Athena of Ring of Honor, who's been holding down Ring of Honor pretty much down by herself, what it seems like. Is there anybody who's missing from this list that you guys would say got snubbed in our first edition?
I think you might have somebody, Sen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking the questions here. I'm asking the questions here because I just want to know what the other constituents of WWT who submitted their lists feel is missing from this list.
I don't have anybody that, in my mind, going against this. Wait.
What is happening?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like a WWT After Dark, not being After Dark. So let's get to the reason. Let's get to your list so we can get back to the news. Who was your problem, Sen?
I'm trying to figure out how when. Can you repeat the fourth part of the criteria again, TK? I believe there's something that says active push.
Activity and push.
Yes.
Okay, activity and push. So when there's an active push, it means that you're winning and maybe you've won something that is pretty of importance, you would say, right?
Right.
I mean, as I don't know where the hell my gavel is. As mayor of Vice City, I'm just trying to understand how Lola Vice is not on this list when we're talking about active push, social media criteria, social media buzz, and also a winner of the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. I feel like there's a travesty here.
Okay. Anything else?
I can't really be mad. I feel like I'm talking over sexy music and it's not working. I feel like I'm not conveying the level of attitude that y'all want to hear.
That's fine. I just speak up for you if you want.
Well, thank you for saying that. The song sounds sexy, I guess.
I feel like it wasn't working.
Well, that is our list. If you agree with said, go on. It's going to be posted on social media shortly, so you can go and like or dislike or all the things. This list is going to be debuting monthly, so really cool, and with a nice surprise coming up in the next couple months as well. So another big announcement. So shout out to BWA for helping us with this list, putting it together, all the things. Reina rankings happening monthly, so be on the lookout for that. And like I said, if you think that somebody should have been on the list, let us know in the chat and or the comments, and we may or may not pay attention. We'll see how it goes. With that being said, what do we got? What's our next news item?
Our next news item. Let's see. Well, we can. I'd like to, talk about this real quick because, it's just on my mind. So I guess WWE sources have indicated to Fightful Select that they're optimistic about a Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk could happen, and the subject has been broached. I know that's something that a lot of people will be excited about, but me personally, I wouldn't, because as Stone Cold Steve Austin is my favorite wrestler of all time, and I went to this year's WrestleMania, this sounds like it would be a WrestleMania, type of match. So if this was WrestleMania or is going to be WrestleMania and Stone Cold fought in the WrestleMania before the one I went to, and then the one after the one I went to, best believe I will be mad. That is something that would just really piss me off. If I wouldn't have gone to WrestleMania.
I have a microphone and you don't.
So you will listen to every damn word I have to say.
So yeah, that's definitely something. I mean, that'd be exciting to see, but just personally, man, if that were to happen like this coming WrestleMania, I'd be watching, of course, but I'd be a little salty about it.
Tony,
this video has been circulating so much too the past 24, 48 hours of this moment that you see on the screen where I think Stone Cold was like a special guest host of the evening and Punk was trolling him. I think what Steve showed with Kevin Owens just a year ago was it opened up a lot of eyes to whoever creative is, whoever your writers are, because nobody expected Stone Cold to actually work a match. We literally thought it was going to be an interview. 30 minutes later, we're getting actual work from him. Now we know Stone Cold be in the gym. If you watch his social media, he be in there on his Earth, Wind, and Fire tip. Some of the oldies hitting the weights. It's actually very entertaining if you've never watched it. So he's staying in shape. So I think he knows eventually that call might come. And why not? I mean, if you want to make big moments with CM Punk in this WWE world we have, why not push that button? Because what we don't want to have is somebody like CM Punk who's a little bit older, we've seen be injured pretty vastly in the past few years, is do the type of matches that can hinder the money making. I think if you work just like a brawl type of angle with Stone Cold, not only do you print money, everybody's going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and first of all, apologies for my absence. We had an entire Gregory Helms outside. That's a hurricane. We had a Gregory Helms outside, so it was messing with my Wi-Fi. Just a lot of wind and rain, all types of stuff. But real quick, Tony Storm, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Trinity, Athena, Becky Lynch, Jordan Grace, Kinsey Page, shouts to the NWA Women's Champion, Tiffany Nieves, OVW Women's Champion, and Io Sky. Anywho, CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin must happen. For goodness gracious, the paper sakes, CM Punk's pipe bomb promo, he is wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt. Matter of fact, he's wearing that shirt during the pipe bomb promo. So I think it's only fitting to think that, you know, a match that we thought would never happen now has more possibility than ever, whether it's the fact that Stone Cold was on the shelf not wrestling when Punk was in, or the fact that when Punk had the match with Kevin Owens, CM Punk was across the street. Now we have them both in the Connecticut territory at the same damn time. And I think while we want Punk and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, who knows if we might get that at the Rumble, and we'll have Punk Austin at WrestleMania. I mean, woo, buddy. Punk is basically Stone Cold Steve Austin, but straight edge. Doesn't drink beer.
You know, I don't disagree with none of y'all. I think it's one of those things that should happen. I'm just going to be salty about it for personal reasons.
Well, you got to take your insulin, Booney, and let that salt. You got to take the insulin, get the proper diabetes in there, do the check, because it's one of those things that whether it happens at Mania or SummerSlam, I think Mania is the perfect event for it. Right. But there's going to be some type of competition with those guys, and I can't wait. It is going to be very, very exciting. Maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin ends up pouring beer on CM Punk.
Hey, well, if it's SummerSlam, there won't be no saltiness about it. There won't be nothing to personally, you know. So SummerSlam, let's do it.
Yeah.
Have they announced where SummerSlam is going to be?
I think sometime in August, but they haven't.
No, I know when. Where? I meant where. Sorry.
I don't think there's a location yet.
Now, what's the location yet?
Yeah, but knowing WWE, like they're gonna put it obviously in a stadium, and it's gonna be incredible whenever it happens, especially with what we can see. And you know what? Who knows if maybe they do Punk versus Rollins at Mania, and they'll have Austin and Punk at SummerSlam for the World Championship. Why not?
I'm for that. I'm all for that right there.
You know what I
mean? Speaking of Rollins, it's being reported that there was a backstage angle ran between the two post Survivor Series between Seth and CM Punk. So I think that's where we're trending. And even outside of Stone Cold versus Steve, we want to put Stone Cold in this universe, and we know we might be heading towards Seth CM at Mania. You can easily have Stone Cold be a special guest enforcer, special guest referee. There's a lot of things you can do to get to Philly. But the backstage angle alone, we saw Seth be very demonstrative towards CM Punk post debut this past weekend at Survivor Series. We now know that there's more footage backstage that's taped that is yet to be released, that they will release at some point.
This is so good.
I do like the fact that there's so many. I mean, this whole week. What up, JD? Let me say hi to everybody. My bad. What up, Bobby, Bosa, JD, Dylan? What's up, y'all? Thanks for joining us. I saw Eddie in there, and then newcomer Tornado T5. Welcome.
Tornado, are you some kid to Kerry Von Erich for the Iron Claw? Is that what it is? The Texas Tornado.
What I do like is this past week, we've had so many different variations of what could possibly happen for WrestleMania, which is a good thing. Where I think last year we didn't have as many, so it's a good thing either way, whichever direction it goes. And yeah, I definitely agree with you. Said Stone Cold stays in the gym, so he's ready. Probably not as quick as he used to be, but ready for anything. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, and not knowing,
he's just like me.
He's just like me.
Okay, well, not knowing is kind of a good thing. Like not knowing exactly what's going to happen. So you know,
that's about to pound the streets.
Hey.
That's right, Boza. In October, it was rumored to be in Cleveland, so we're still gonna see because summer in Cleveland just sounds like everyone hangs out at the Mrs. Dad's Hoagie sub shop, so we don't want to do that.
And lastly, while we're talking about CM Punk, Russell Ops posted, for those wondering or disappointed that CM Punk said nothing about AEW, it's because both he and others have signed several NDAs with regards to talking publicly about the other. Me personally, it's just like for those who are actually disappointed by him not, saying things about AEW, I just don't think it would look good. It wouldn't age well if you have, been saying negative things about one promotion while you're on the other end, and then going back to it just wouldn't look right. So I think it's cool that he's, NDA aside, that he's just not even touching on it. Just move forward with it and do what you're doing. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah,
people want the final result before even letting it cook. It doesn't mean that day will never come, but just like people are so impatient. Like, oh my God, he gave this damn Mr. Rogers promo. So what? He's there.
Yeah.
Like, just wait. Let it marinate. Let it cook. It doesn't mean he might not ever, but NDAs are serious. But we know TKO got money at the same time, a lot of money. And at the same time, on top of that, number one never mentions number two. Number one is too busy going forward. They're not looking behind them and saying like, hey, yada, yada, yada. No. So like, let it take its time. Let's let CM Punk be on TV for a month before we start judging everything. Because it's very new territory for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Go forward.
Well, it's the Connecticut territory for CM Punk. My guy's back. What it do. I think it's one of those things, again, if Punk would have just came out and said something to the effect that I'm healed and I feel young and I'm effing rejuvenated and I work with effing adults, that would have been enough. But I think CM Punk, by not addressing it, that made the salt in the wound that much even deeper for the Jacksonville territory. And I think he's just going to continue to get money. We know what happened. What more can he say? We know what happened. We know why he's in WWE.
Hold on.
So let's keep it moving.
Hold on. Don't play me, JD. You know you got one of these in your closet. If you was a New Day fan, you bought this. And when I was at WrestleMania in Orlando, I waited in line to buy this. About an hour. Everybody got a unicorn horn. Don't play me.
Don't hate on the unicorn. Don't hate on the unicorn stampede, son.
JD Smith, we do not kink shame here on WWT Live, buddy. We don't kink shame here. As the great Big L said, Beavis, I get nothing but head. That's why, Sid has the thing on. But we don't
I plead the fifth completely.
The late great L.
Why would I purchase a butt plug when I got the Samoan spike right here?
My God! Oh, the originator.
We got the
never fails. 10 times out of 10.
That's about to pound the streets.
This is
with that being said,
Solo Sikoa out here.
with that being said, here is there's really there's no proper transition, but check it out as we gather ourselves together.
Hey yo, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen, not knowing what you want to do, like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www.talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
Well, I don't know where. Oh, I was like, where did King go? All right, what we got? Oh, good Lord. Today's just one of those.
let's talk about these babies, and we'll start with Sis Women's Wrestling Talk. So we got to talk about Ronda. TMZ called up to Ronda, and she said, despite all the chatter that's going on in the media, she is not joining AEW. She is focused on being a mother. So this could be smoke and mirrors, but I tend to believe Ronda. I mean, everything ended pretty abruptly with WWE, and now she's doing the indie tour. But the thing about that is, it's on her own time.
But did it end up abruptly?
I mean, like,
her contract.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I mean. Her contract was up, and I don't know how aggressively they tried to re-sign her. That's what I mean by abruptly. Mm-hmm. Like, how did those talks go? It was just kind of ended, and then like a month, whatever later, we see indie dates. We see Ring of Honor. But I think that's all in Ronda's control. She's controlling her narrative. She's making sure that if she does want to return, she can get the bag and be the hottest free agent around. So I tend to believe her when she says that.
I agree.
I mean, we've seen Ronda Rousey criticize the wrestling fan. Basically said, you whack, you twisted, your girl's a hoe. And when she came back, the crowd reacted to her the way they reacted to her. They booed her, and they just weren't feeling her. And she did what she did. She did business with her BFF, one of her BFFs, one of the 4 MMA women. Shayna Baszler took the L to her in a very, very weird MMA match in the middle of a WWE ring and got out of there. I think Ronda Rousey enjoys professional wrestling. I think she enjoys it more than World Wrestling Entertainment because she popped up in ROH where she got to get, sent on her neck by Billy Starks. So I think that while we think she's not going AEW full time, I fully expect for her to get some type of Will Ospreay contract. We've seen the type of contracts that TK does. Maybe she'll get like an Impact TNA deal where it's on match basis. So match by match by match, a certain match deal. But we will see her in the AEW ring. We're not going to tease us and have Ronda Rousey on freaking Honor Club in a tag team match with Marina Shafir against Athena and Billy Starks. No, she will be on TNT TBS within the next year.
Oh, well, clip that, Dylan, and save that for later.
Isolate that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the money match would have been against Mercedes Moné, but she might be popping back up. Now that Papa H is just bringing everybody back. She might, Scully on back in that thing. So, but we're going to see what's going down.
I just, I can see both sides of it. I don't know. I think it's based off. I think it was the last season of Total Divas that Ronda Rousey was featured in that one, and just really getting a sense of her lifestyle and how Ronda don't give a fuck. She does not give a fuck, and she seems to not even it's not like she needs the money. You know what I'm saying? And she's not really. So it's kind of up in the air. It's like I can believe both ends, whether it's just some smoke and mirrors, kayfabe type of thing, or if she's just being straight serious. I think at the end of the day, she agreeing with what she's saying, King. At the end of the day, she's gonna just want to probably do something by a match basis, not some full out, type of thing. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But Ronda don't care.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I love Bobby Batito saying that Ronda could take on Layla Hirsch, and
that would
Layla's
be fun.
Definitely like Ronda Rousey took the Mario mushroom, and Layla Hirsch is before the Mario mushroom, before the 1-up. You know what I mean? So they're kind of like the same person. Ronda Rousey, though, but she's busy with a lot of things. Obviously, she's a mother, and she has the Browsey Acres with her husband, Travis Brown, MMA fighter, where they sell like meat from Wyoming or whatever it is. They sell like high quality meat.
Yep.
Where, they sell that high quality meat where that was coming. So she has a lot of interest, but I think, she sees competition as more realistic than entertainment, which is why I could definitely see her at more AEW, which looks to be the wrestling alternative, more sports-based presentation. So match by match by match is what we're going to see with Ronda Rousey, I believe. Because she's still an attraction. She's still a name. And who knows, maybe Tony Khan can pull some strings to get Holly Holm up in there. Now that would be.
So I'm gonna be hip. I'm gonna deny that right there because that just sounds like Brock Lesnar, Cain Velasquez vibes, and which is probably one of the worst days ever in professional wrestling. Not because of the end of Kofi Mania, but because everybody was flat because your hardcore or even casual WWE fans, wrestling fans, don't really watch MMA. So Brock Lesnar literally had to say, "Oh shit, that's Cain Velasquez." Everybody else in the crowd still didn't know who that was. Like that was a terrible moment. Terrible. And I love Cain. Arizona State till I die. I love Cain. He went to my alma mater, but that was terrible.
Who is this big ass Rey Mysterio dude next to actual Rey Mysterio? Whoa. What? Was that graphic exist?
How does that correlate?
Well, I can say either way, Ronda gonna be chilling, waiting for the zombie apocalypse and selling meat, whatever, and popping up wherever she wants to. Yeah.
And not giving a damn about her reputation. Speaking of reputations, our guy Matthew Riddle, just copped that Riddle OG. You know what I'm saying? He got that new smoking like that. But also, he became a baby daddy again. He is a father that you see little Matthew in the world. He had a tweet, little Matthew in the world. He is a father of a beautiful baby boy. So congrats to Matt Riddle on becoming a father again, man. It's very beautiful. Look at that. Riddle. His baby already has abs and is flipping off shoes, flipping off flip flops and doing MMA on people. But shouts to Riddle.
Congratulations to Riddle.
Congrats.
A lot of babies being had. Can we jump back to Ronda real quick? Nia Jax had some comments.
Okay.
Nia Jax had some comments about Shayna Baszler sending her to a lesser company, and that's a bar. Really, but
wow.
I disagree. I really disagree about, like she said, Shayna Baszler does get credit for that, but I don't feel like they've elevated Shayna at all as a result of that match. They didn't really give it the time it should have. It should have been in the fight pit, and it was supposed to really elevate Shayna. That was Ronda doing her homie a solid and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna have you take me out." And the company has done a disservice to the booking of Shayna, like since she's been on the main roster. Dude. Just the Elimination Chamber where she nerfed everybody. Since then, we haven't seen that same Shayna Baszler. And this feud with Ronda earlier this year was supposed to bring that person out. So, like, what do we do? Like, what do we do here? Are we going to get our one-on-one with Rhea, or is it going to? It looks like it's going to be Nia first, but. Still,
Shayna's booking has been so weird because Shayna is the one that kind of sent Nia Jax out, and she almost had to remind us on the last Raw that, hey, I broke your arm and sent you out, remember? So, Shayna Baszler has now sent out the last, two badasses of the division in Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey, and still hasn't been a women's single champion on the main roster. Like, what's happening here? She's had the tag team run with Nia, obviously, but it's one of those things that you have this badass just chilling and just not doing badass stuff. And I think Shayna Baszler, if not, Raquel Rodriguez, let me flex my back, she's probably the most formidable challenger to Rhea Ripley, will be Shayna Baszler. And she's just sitting here just doing weird things with Zoe Stark, who's supposed to be playing Ronda Rousey now.
Yeah, basically giving pep talks or something.
Pep talks in there,
Yeah, it feels like with Shayna. I mean, you guys all just said it. She has the talent. She's been in the game, but there's just something that either WWE or there's something that's not her and Zoe. Actually, I was talking to Evan about this. There's just something that's missing that. I don't know if it's a WWE thing or it's their thing that they're not connecting to like the masses. Meaning that if I were just watching wrestling for fun, I wouldn't necessarily connect to Shayna, be all the way invested in her. And it's not, based off of like, because I think she's dope. Like I've been following her since UFC days. I think she's dope. However, there's just something when she got to the main roster, like you guys are saying, there's something that it's almost like when Ronda lost the fight at UFC and it's kind of she lost a little bit of herself. Like she wasn't the Ronda, like the Ronda that dominated in UFC was totally different after she lost those 2 matches. And with Shayna, it feels like when she got to the main roster, is like there's a misfooting, and she's trying to figure out like her or WD is trying to figure out like how to get back into that dominant state. Because that's
what the misfooting was. She should have beat Becky in the pandemic at WrestleMania. And the way they did it to protect her. She didn't take like a bad loss. Like it was clean, but it's because she had her in the clutch and got rolled up. Like she should have won everything they built through that at a time where there's no fans and you can kind of control your narrative as a performer without getting jeered on the mic and stuff like that. That was the time to build Shayna Baszler. So when you come out on the other side of that, it's believable. Everybody believes you. So I think this makes me miss Sonya Deville. I just want Shayna Baszler to wear like badass suits backstage and berate all the women. That's what I want for like weeks until she get her get back.
Until her and Sonya meet up. Yeah. To Eddie James' point, I think the booking committee and Triple H, they've been acting like jokers, not knowing how to book the Queen of Spades.
Yeah.
Before we hit our next story.
I just caught that. That was bad. That was terrible.
Don't want me. That was good.
Before we get out of here, let's let Booney say his goodbye.
All right, y'all.
Booney so gutter. Oh my God. Why is Booney so gutter, bro? Like, oh my God.
I just trying to match the video. It's like, oh, y'all gonna use that nuts with the flames? Nah, we gotta put some of this Mile High State of Mind in there. But always appreciate being with y'all guys. About to head out. Y'all know y'all can find me at Booney Mayfield on Instagram. You can also find me on all streaming platforms as Booney Mayfield. Check out my music. Find me on YouTube. Everything like Booney Mayfield. Just look me up. You'll find me and my stuff. So, yeah. Signing off.
See you next week.
Yes. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all later.
So gutter.
Oh my goodness. All right. What do we got next?
Let me find my notes. Oh yeah. Speaking of Ronda, AEW, whatnot, AEW, they are expected to finish this year grossing $170 million to $175 million American dollars in revenue. Oh, the demise of AEW has been greatly hyped for no reason. That's a lot of money for a near 5-year-old company to be the number 2, to be a major market on Warner Brothers. They are making that cash. So people thought AEW was going to be up out of here. But let's think about this for a sec, okay? AEW in 2020, they made about $64 million, 2021, $86 million, 2022, $100 million plus, and now 2023 between $170 and $175 million. So the company's growing. It's growing, and you got to look at it in being the fact that that is revenue, okay? That's revenue. Although the quiet part is any company can operate at a loss, but we're going to celebrate the fact that AEW has made between 170 and 175 million. Okay. But again, any company can operate at a loss. I mean, I used to work at iHeartRadio, so, we know how this goes down, But we're going to celebrate the fact that they're making money in revenue and they have this major contract. And once again, we need AEW, people. We do not want AEW to go away, okay? Because if AEW goes away, we're going to have to watch, like, regional indie wrestling at 4 in the morning on our local Fox channel. Or we might get like the Katie Vick storyline and Rusev as a cuck. We don't want that. We want AEW to win. Okay, so let's cheer AEW making this revenue again. Wembley Stadium was no joke. They made their money. They did what they did. So we got to remember AEW is 5 years old and they're making this much money. So let's see if we make the revenue. Let's keep the revenue going up, and hopefully let's get some good storylines and some good product out there.
Let's talk about that. The Dylan had mentioned it too. WWB and possibly Raw going there. We talk a little bit about that because that's going to be quite interesting if it does.
That's not happening. That's not happening. It sounds good in theory. That's not happening.
It sounds good. It sounds good in theory, but I can't see it.
Said I can't see an ECW on TNN thing happening again. You know what I mean? Like I can't see that. Said like because we saw what happened with ECW. They were on TNN and WWE, and Vince was like, "That's a nice company y'all got there. Viacom sure is treating you guys nice over there at ECW. We want some of that." And WWE ended up taking over TNN, which became Spike, which is what pretty much killed ECW, was losing that national television deal. So I cannot see a scenario where that happens. And I know people say, well, WWE is on TNT overseas, but you have to remember that used to be BT Sport. Okay, so TNT Sports in the UK is what BT Sport was. Yes, it is owned by Warner Brothers, but it's Warner Brothers Sports Europe. It's the European league. So things are a little bit kind of the same, but kind of different. But I guess that's the only scenario where I can see actually, because WWE airs on quote unquote TNT Sports in the UK, but that used to be BT Sports. What used to be BT Sport, but again, it is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. So we're going to have to see if they want kind of that synchronization across the worldwide brand. That's the only way I can see. But again, the TV deals are separate between what happens with Warner Brothers in America and Warner Brothers in the UK.
Yeah. Just to talk about the AEW thing real quick. I see a lot of Twitter financial experts saying like the revenue, but how much did they spend to make a profit? But still good overall for AEW. They're still going to do big things. They're already preparing for Wembley in 2024. I think the biggest thing with them is just curating a product that resonates with their hardcore fan. I think twice this week we've seen public call-outs from people on the roster. Britt Baker saying that she hasn't had a live promo in 2023. Ric Flair crying his heart on Twitter as well, saying that he doesn't want to embarrass the product and that he'll leave if he wants to. These are people that are signed to the roster, publicly crying out. So you want to keep that stuff in house, but also continue to curate a product that resonates with your hardcore fan. But as far as WWE, like I said, I don't see the Warner Brothers things happening. A couple of days ago, I said I think they want to stay on regular old school antenna type television. They want to be network television. They're leaving Fox. I think NBC Universal makes sense. You have the relationship with Peacock. It's not in the news cycle right now, but I'm telling you, those conversations are probably happening behind closed doors already. That's what I see in the most likely scenario, just because it's already a thing.
Yeah.
So when it gets announced, I think it'll be something like that.
I agree with what said. And actually, Dylan, TNA, if you can pull that up, Dylan asked about Raw and Spike. Spike here in the United States doesn't exist anymore. Spike is now the Paramount Network. And they don't seem too focused on sports, Paramount. They just want to show marathons of Kevin Costner's Yellowstone. So it's just
we got that new iCarly though.
Marathons and the brand new iCarly where they're all adults dealing with adult situations and webcams. Which was always a weird show to me. iCarly was like a show about teenagers with webcams. Anyway, but I think Raw actually does end up on NBC Universal. I think we get a little bit of switcheroo. We saw SmackDown on network television. Raw was on cable. I think with the new deal, we're going to see SmackDown on cable or NBC Universal. And we're going to see Raw on linear television. Whether it remains with NBC Universal and Monday Night Raw ends up on NBC, which I believe is the dream scenario for Nick Khan, for Monday Night Raw to end up on NBC, with the way that a lot of scripted television is now on streaming or on demand, or not just you regular tune in at 8 p.m. on a Monday night. Why not have something to counteract Monday Night Football on ABC with your own live sports programming with Raw on NBC? So I think that's the major get what Nick Khan's going for. People got to realize not everybody has streaming TV. I had to show my dad that my dad didn't realize he had Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? So not everyone watches streaming TV. So the easier it is to find something, the better, which is why we see NXT end up on network television, while we saw SmackDown on Fox. It's easy, accessible. You don't need cable for these. So they're going to want WWE is going to want one of their properties on major network television.
Yeah, you think about like how we talk about being seamless, and I think of the NFL, since Kane just mentioned it. I think about how much they probably didn't gain with the YouTube television deal for the NFL Sunday Ticket. I know people are cutting the cord with cable; they left DirecTV, but I can't imagine that they did very well in their first season for YouTube television just to have Sunday Ticket, because you have NFL Plus, you have a lot of other things and ways to watch football this season. So I would think for the WWE, they want to make their project easier to obtain, not harder.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, we will see what happens. Exactly what agreeing with you, Jeffrey. We'll see what happens next year. I mean, obviously, I definitely don't see nothing happening. Like it would be a crazy world where WWE's like, we couldn't find anything for Raw, so y'all just gonna watch it, online. So we know somebody's gonna sign. It's just like who's gonna pay the money and all the things. So we'll see what happens with that. Quickly before we finish up with any last minute stories, Gia Miller, I had a really great conversation with her the other day. That's going to be airing on Fight on Tuesday. We're going to be talking about rhinestones, matches, and who her Mount Rushmore is, which is quite interesting. Her Mount Rushmore for wrestlers and correspondents. So she has a really interesting answer. So you can check that out on Fight. Oh, I was like, who's that? You can check that out on Fight happening on Tuesday, as well as a couple more announcements coming from WWT happening next week as well. Can you believe it's December already? Which I don't know if we're going to get flagged by YouTube, but Dylan, our unofficial official producer, took the time in making this, so we are going to go with it.
Worry about the feds later. Post it.
That part, if it decides to play.
I hope we're not messing with Mariah money. We don't want that smoke. I hope it ain't nothing like that.
Oh, maybe it doesn't want to play. Well, if it decides to play, we might play it. We got any more stories?
The only story that we didn't touch is, if people saw this morning, the Royal Rumble poster is officially out. Features a lot of superstars, including the newly added CM Punk. Royal Rumble season is my personal favorite. So seeing all this array of superstars for what we know is the
Made a list, checked it twice.
He sees you when you're sleeping, bitch.
Hey, y'all, everybody, Merry Christmas looking for Pinky Knuckles.
Oh man. Bro. Oh, there you go.
Hello?
Christmas decorations.
Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrap presents, I wrap them.
I didn't even see this.
Always on the naughty list of Rick and Morty. Santa Swanty, I'm born Steve and Mrs. Quarantine. Run, Mr. Gingerbread Man, but I still make you crumbs in my hand, and I don't give a damn about the slack holiday. Here's why I hate Santa's fat ass anyway. I sent a letter to the North Pole.
Wow.
Back then I told him I only wanted one thing. An easy bake oven, but he didn't listen. Got me a motherfucking toaster instead, and now he's dead. So let this be a lesson. If a kid wants a present related to bacon, delicious pastries, you gotta get them what they craving.
Wow.
Wow.
Thanks,
Bravo,
Dylan.
Dylan.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
I didn't even see the whole of that. Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
We're definitely gonna need like a Dylan versus Matthew from Botchamania match at the Elimination Chamber in Dylan's backyard of Australia. This is the official challenge to Matthew from Botchamania. It'd be like a Australia versus England UK thing, so they can figure out all the penal colony stuff afterwards. It's a history lesson for you guys. But
before that, we were talking about the Rumble, and I was
Yes.
going to point out that Drew
Speaking of the
McIntyre
British-
is
Speaking of the
unhappy
British Empire,
that he's not on the Royal Rumble poster. I don't know if this is storyline, but if it is, it's going to parlay right into Drew's sudden character change. Look at all the superstars in the poster. Randy just came back. CM Punk just got here. Drew is not on this poster at all.
First glance behind Bianca Belair, that is Sami.
That's Sammy,
correct?
Yeah, I thought that was Drew too at first, but it's
I
Sammy.
thought it was Drew. Yeah, and also big shouts to Bailey, who had an amazing tweet that it's funny that she looks like AJ Styles because AJ's next to Io Sky. If you flip it upside down, right at the Royal, you see Io Sky, and AJ Styles is next to her. But definitely needed a neck surgeon. Definitely needed a chiropractor. After looking at this poster, I was like, "Oh, who is that?" So
Logan Paul is on a poster and not Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like the only active champion on SmackDown is Io Sky, who we see like every week. Other than that, Roman and Logan just kind of come and go on a week by week basis.
I love Chelsea. Chelsea is
Chelsea Green is absolutely killing. That's amazing. I want all the Chelsea Green.
Chelsea is
But
yeah. You know.
Real quick, guys, you're too early to predict and name Royal Rumble winners. Men and women are said you first. Who you got?
Wow. Women is tough. And I think it has to be almost a surprise entry. Because they already did the elevation of Io, right?
Mm-hmm.
So unless it's somebody like they want to elevate their next person up, right? You want to get to a certain space. I can see. Obviously, I won't do surprises because I was going to say like somebody like Trish. I was going to say Trish off top. I will say Raquel Rodriguez, or a surprise would be like Dakota Kai, if healthy.
Yeah. What about your men's?
The men's is tough because there's so many people. Like, I think people are going to automatically assume like LA Knight. I'm going Gunther just because he ran the table last year, didn't get it. So I'll go Gunther.
I too am going Gunther for men's, and for women's, I'm going Kairi Sane.
I like that.
No, yeah. I think that's the only reason to come back is to win the Rumble and have that WrestleMania moment, you know. And we can see her at Philly doing that pirate elbow drop in front of a million.
That would be very big for her because they didn't do Shinsuke right when he won the Rumble. So I would hope they pay that forward.
And that goes with that. That's why I think Gunther and
same with Asuka
and Kairi's going to win. Correct. And Asuka, really hasn't. I mean, she's come back from it a little bit, but she's not as strong as pre-Charlotte WrestleMania match, in my opinion.
I think the wild card for the women is Jade going to be in the Rumble?
Ooh, yeah. I like to see that, like a Jade Cargill. And if she gets eliminated, it'll be like a controversial elimination, which sets up her Mania match.
I can see her breaking the elimination record, but that really throws salt on Shayna and Bianca if you do that.
Yeah. I mean, the dream match is Bianca and Jade. That's the Goldberg-Austin. You know what I mean? Like Bianca and Jade Cargill. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill is going to sell. Like that could main event a night of WrestleMania.
What you know about Ricky's contract, Dylan? You know something I don't know?
Oh, what you know? You know something special? Future Intercontinental Champion Ricky Starks.
I kind of want to
belt
see.
made for somebody. Whew.
I kind of want to see Zoe. I feel like they keep pushing her, but then they don't. It's like it's weird. It's like they keep pushing her. She gets to this top, but then they're not going to give it to her. And I kind of see like Zoe, Jade obviously is a good one as well. And then I don't know about Gunther.
I can totally see a space where Austin Theory wins the Rumble. Like weirdly enough, I can see it. Bad Bunny will be in the Rumble.
Absolutely, at like number 28 or something. Not 28, like 25. So he can get his spots in, but not be too like worn out. Dylan says he would like for Bailey to win it. Hey, I think at this point Bailey is fine. At this point, I don't think her year or her past involves it. Somebody like Kairi Sane, it kind of like Kairi Sane, excuse me. I'm trying to that kind of makes sense. I return, I have unfinished business, and we're gonna kind of see all the Joshi wrestlers get together. I don't think they'll be together for too long, and then the split starts kind of post Rumble and leads to who will she pick? Will she pick Rhea or will she pick Io? And then we'll get like a fire Io, like we'll get some Stardom shit at WrestleMania. How amazing would that be? You know, and Philly's like the perfect crowd for that. Like it's in a wrestling city, you know what I mean? It's in a diehard wrestling city, and you get some Stardom, you know, Kari and Io. Hell, they might even make it a triple threat, throw Asuka in there. But we're going to see those three together, and we're going to see those three fight. It's going to get real Joshi in WWE Women Division very soon. I can't wait.
So to just touch on Boza's comments, I think if they were to do Rhea and Becky at Mania, Becky winning makes them go backwards. I think everything we're seeing is showing that Becky's on her way out because she's elevating everybody around her. If Rhea's going to drop that title, she's dropping to somebody that's kind of next up that she'll do battle with over the next years or so. That's why I say Raquel. We know they're best friends. And I think they've been trying to heat Raquel up for a while, but they're just trying to get her character to match with the energy with the fans.
Yeah. I think Raquel's going to be focused on the Raw side, and her and Rhea look like to be the WrestleMania match. Or even if it's not her and Rhea, like she's such a hoss.
Rhea be selling to a lot of people. Go watch how she sells to Raquel, though.
Oh, Rhea sells amazing to Raquel. Puts her over and makes her look like a legit threat. So Rhea needs to be slimy to win, which is why I think at Mania is going to be those two, and she loses clean. Just to kind of put Raquel over. Show my back muscle. It's my back muscle, Raquel. Yeah. That's a bad. She's like legit 6 foot. Like she's like a real badass dude. Like I'm amazed with her. So anyway, those are the too early to predict Royal Rumble predictions here on WWT Live on this Friday. TK. Did my mic go mute? Or is
nope.
TK muted?
I'm pretty sure TK is muted.
Okay, we're not tripping. Okay. There we go.
My bad. Shout out to Mickie James, all women's wrestling Empower event 2 happening April 2024. Oceania Pro Wrestling and Glow Sports announced that Mickie James will be holding an all new women's Empower event April 10th to the 15th in Dylan's neck of the woods. So really cool. I'm sad it's not happening. It's not happening in America because it was really, really good. But this is a great time. I think I was talking to Gia about this and some other people over the weeks as far as women's wrestling is concerned. It's just so it's just such a great time for wrestling in general. But yeah, maybe we were talking about that before the show. Maybe we should have this membership thing where people are privy to certain things because there's like projects that I want to say, but I can't. Yeah.
But WWT, man, can't stop, won't stop. Rockefeller Records, because we get down, baby. We get down. Like
this. Yeah, hit a Harlem Shake.
And Taller by a bit, but go ahead. But yeah, like this has been such an amazing year, an amazing time for women's wrestling for all of us who've loved it forever, and the sport continues to grow. Whether it be Joshi, whether it be on here across the pond on the American side, whether it be the UK, strong stiff stuff. This is an amazing time. So thank you guys for supporting WWT Live. Thanks for supporting TK Trinidad, who started all this ish, birthed all this ish. I remember back in the day, me and TK would always talk wrestling in the halls of iHeart LA, and to see where this is growing over the
last. Oh my God, we need to get that. I need to find the video. There's this goes way back. And before we leave, I'm also gonna play this clip from Renee. Shouting out WrestleMedia. But
yeah,
went to, I don't know, was it a Raw or something like that? We got tickets from the radio station. No, tickets from Xavier, and Kane, I didn't realize how serious Kane was, but he was very emotional. And I have a video of Kane being emotional at this wrestling event. So
because it was very unexpected. It was a very hot April day in 2016. And TK Trinidad got me Raw tickets at the Staples Center for my birthday. It was the most amazing thing ever. One of the nicest things anybody's ever done for me. She got me tickets to Raw in 2016, April 2016, on my birthday. Big shouts to Xavier Woods. And it's a very dope video. And we had a good time. I didn't know she was such a big wrestling fan. She didn't know I was such a big wrestling fan. And we became wrestling fans together, and it's been lit ever since. So shouts to my girl TK.
Man, look.
Real TKs were dope. she might as well run. Like Karen Bass could take a few notes from TK Trinidad. Just saying.
But I want to play this clip from Renee. So if you guys haven't seen our interview with Renee, she said some really dope things as well. Especially talking about wrestling media. So I want to play this clip, and you can check out the whole interview.
Out with some of these. Oh God, yeah. I mean, wrestling media has changed a ton. I really wasn't that tapped into wrestling media prior to, like, even when I was doing the show in Toronto, I was figuring out what some of these websites were, who some of these like journalists were. I didn't know what a ton of that stuff was. So now to be able to see, different names and different people kind of make something of themselves in that space is really cool. I mean, I'm a huge Sam Roberts fan. I love what he does. I love what Peter Rosenberg has done. I love that he's now doing a show with Michelle Beadle, who I know has always been a huge wrestling fan. So I think, somebody like Kaz, I love Kaz so much. There's so many like cool names. And, oh God, yeah. I mean, wrestling media has changed.
Yeah. So check out that interview. It's up on YouTube now as well, so you can watch it on Fight. If you didn't catch it on Fight, you can check it out on YouTube. It's on our page. But I think with that being said, I mean, are you guys ready to go? Like, do you guys want to stay some more? Like,
I'm excited for that interview. Check out that interview. It was really dope. Shouts to Ardo Cal, man. Like, I remember what's it called, like After the Bell, whatever it was on TSN, or like Aftermath. I think it was called on TSN. That was one of the first big wrestling shows that I remember, and of course he ended up becoming Cal Edwards for a little bit in WWE. But I wish he got to be him in WWE. But he was very early on that, and that was the first time that I saw Renee was on TSN back in the day. Shouts to Kaz. We have a great Wale Mania story that may get told in a few years. But yeah.
Oh, that's what. Oh, so Kane. That's exactly. Remind me after we get off there. That's how you came up in the conversation. That's how you. But yes,
okay,
Dylan,
there we go.
Two Canadians having a chat. It was awesome. I love talking to people from Toronto, because it's just such a different. I remember TSN and all the stuff. So it's just a interesting take, especially when you move to America and all the things. So definitely check out that interview. Dope. We have so many interviews. We have pretty much interviews lined up until next year. So shout out to Fight TV for all the things, and shout out to all the promotions for working with us and all the things.
And there's a part of the interview that like it may or may not happen. You have to watch to see. But TK and Renee Paquette have a poutine eating contest, and they wash it down with Tim Hortons coffee. May or may not happen. Watch the interview to see. Fight TV, YouTube, WWT as well.
Ironically, we did talk about poutine, so you do have to watch the interview.
Yeah.
But With that, that's so random. With that being said, Kane, where can everybody find you?
Hey, unfortunately, feel free to follow me at Kane McCoy. You see it right there for all of my silly tweets.
And Seti said, who's horning this weekend?
Let me turn my horn to the side real quick. Turn my horn to the side. You can find me at Says on Twitter at CEDD_SAYS. I might change that because you can find me on the gram at Said is the Answer as well. Check out all my journalism stuff. I write, produce shows, all that good stuff on my website. It's not updated, but you can check it out. CedricDWelton.com. I wrote 2 articles last week for Daily DDT, looking at the big moments that we saw at Survivor Series, as well as banging the table for 5-on-5 elimination matches to return. Check those out. Give me your clicks. Swallow my words, taste my thoughts. Let me know what you think. And also, check me out on this platform, WWT Live, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think TK is going to force me to write an article tonight, so be on the lookout for that.
You done lost your damn mind, and I'm going to help you find it.
Oh, man. Well, thank you guys for joining. Look, Jeffrey. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you guys so much for joining Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. We will be back on Monday. And like I said, we are dropping that interview with Gia Miller coming up on Fight TV and a couple other projects coming on Fight as well. A lot, actually, projects on projects. So shout out to Fight, shout out to some other entities that we'll name in the coming weeks, in the coming months, but big projects happening. I am super excited. The ink is about to dry and we about to do some things, and Said we'll be rolling the streets in all parts of the world. We'll just put it out.
just hey, my advice to you guys, make sure you strap up your Samoan spike. Just make sure
God.
Make sure it's sterile. Strap it up,
Smell it. Okay, cool.
Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Till next time, guys. Ciao.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go off. This is Shayna, the Queen of Spades Baszler, and you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1